I am a 6-time hereditary cancer survivor. So for me, hereditary cancer is huge, and it's completely shaped my life and how I deal with things and how my children see the world. I was diagnosed the first time when I was only 29 years old. I had an 8-month-old baby, a 7-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And it was devastating. I was petrified because I looked into their little faces and didn't know if I was going to see them grow up. I did really well with my treatments. I lost all my hair. I went through radiation therapy. And, you know, with the baby, it just keeps you going. So I was really blessed to be diagnosed when my kids were little, because it just kept me absolutely going. And when I was diagnosed the second time, I was 35 and had just had my youngest daughter, Taylor. So I went through the same treatment again. I lost my hair again and went through radiation therapy and survived it again. So I was, you know, thinking, okay, I'm petrified, but I'm happy. You know, I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to prevent it from coming back. I asked the doctor, and she told me that I might just be one of those people that gets cancer every 5 to 7 years. And for me, that was just almost too much to bear. When I was 42, I was producing a television show called Your Cancer Today, and I met a doctor. I invited her on. She was a young breast surgeon and herself a survivor. And I shared with her during the pre-interview that I was a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And the first thing she said is, "Have you been tested for BRCA?" And I was like, well, they brought it up, but I was told I wasn't a candidate for it because I didn't have any risk factors. The only one, she was astounded. She said, okay, hang on a second. By virtue of you having 2 cancers, you're definitely meet the criteria. For me, it was a total no-brainer. I knew that I had to have this test done. She called me and had me come in, and she was like, I knew it, you're positive for this gene. That was something that was a very positive moment, because all of a sudden, I had so many answers to my questions. This wasn't something that I had caused or created or had done to myself. This was a fact of life. It was like the heavens opened up and gave me some information. So I knew what I had to do then. For me, having a prophylactic hysterectomy was absolutely something that I was going to do. It didn't matter to me. I had already had cancer twice. So I went in for the prophylactic hysterectomy. Had done all of the tests beforehand, and they didn't see any cancer. So we went ahead with the preventative hysterectomy. Upon biopsy, they found a stage 3 fallopian tube cancer that had already spread to my ovaries and my abdominal washings. So it was already in an advanced state, but it was microscopic. So it was spreading. They likened it to having a dandelion and blowing on it, and the seeds just going every place. At that point, I needed to start chemotherapy for a 3rd time. Lost my hair again, and went through this whole thing again. And again, did really well. I've been really fortunate with being able to deal with my chemos really well. Unfortunately, I've had a few recurrences. Like I said, I'm a 6-time survivor right now. In April of 2013, I was diagnosed with metastatic fallopian tube to my brain and underwent what's called a gamma knife surgery. And they basically lasered out the 4 brain tumors that they had found. And 3 of them are completely gone, and 1 is almost, you know, completely gone. My oldest daughter was really against being tested. She was petrified. She was absolutely sure that she was going to have breast cancer just like me, and she really didn't make any plans for her life. She was 25 years old when she finally consented to being tested, and she came back negative. And it was like flipping a light switch on in her life. The first thing out of her mouth is, "Oh my gosh, I can have babies." That's a huge, huge thing for somebody that thinks that they're going to die at 29. To be able to all of a sudden say, "I don't have this. This isn't my future. My mom's future is not my future." Very powerful.